2 weeks later, everything exploded. Richard Ashford's wife filed for divorce, citing an affair with Victoria. The scandal was spectacular and public. Victoria, furious that Richard had promised her a future, while staying married for financial reasons, gave interviews to anyone who would listen. More importantly, she revealed Richard had been using Caldwell Properties' inside information to undercut their deals, sabotaging projects to buy properties at reduced prices. Harrison called Sophia at midnight. "Did you know that Richard is a snake?" "Yes." "That he was sabotaging you?" "No." She looked at Marcus. "But I can guess who gathered evidence." Marcus looked up innocently from his laptop. "Evidence?" "Marcus." He sighed. "I had my people look into Richard after he started spreading rumors. We found discrepancies in his property acquisitions. I sent the information to a journalist friend, and maybe to your father's lawyer. He tried to hurt you. 2 birds, 1 stone. The fallout was spectacular. Richard lost multiple partnerships. Victoria moved back with her parents, and Harrison, facing evidence of his misjudgment, called Sophia. "I owe you an apology. And Marcus one too. Bring him to lunch. Just us 3. That lunch turned into a 3-hour conversation about investments, urban development, sustainable business. Harrison slowly realized Marcus wasn't just wealthy, he was thoughtful, strategic, principled. "You remind me of my wife," Harrison said finally. "She always said business should be about more than profit, that we had responsibility to the communities we built in. I stopped listening after she died." "It's not too late to change," Marcus said quietly. "Maybe not." Harrison extended his hand. "Thank you for making my daughter happy, and for protecting her, even from me." 6 months later, Sophia stood in the gallery of the Riverside Development Project, looking at architectural models. The redesigned project incorporated affordable housing, green spaces, and community centers, a compromise between her vision and her father's practicality. "You did it," Marcus said, arm around her waist. "We did it. Your investment made the affordable housing viable. Dad's connections made approvals happen. My design brought it together." Christopher approached, uncomfortable but sincere. "It's impressive, really good." He looked at Marcus. "And I'm sorry for being a jackass. You were right about that property investment you recommended." After he left, Sophia turned to Marcus. "You're buying my brother's affection. I'm investing in family relationships. Totally different." "Speaking of," Sophia pulled out a small box. "I was going to wait until dinner, but I can't. I know traditionally the man proposes, but nothing about us is traditional." She opened it, revealing a simple platinum band. "Marry me, Marcus. Build a life with me. Be my partner." Marcus laughed and pulled a box from his pocket. "I was going to propose at dinner. I've been carrying this around for 2 weeks. He showed her a vintage emerald ring. "Yes. On one condition, I want to expand the bookshop into a chain of community centers where wealth doesn't matter. I want you to design them." That's the most romantic thing anyone's ever said to me. They stood there, 2 people who'd hidden themselves until they found someone who saw them clearly. 1 year later, the wedding was intimate and perfect, held at the original Chapter and Verse bookshop, surrounded by books and people who mattered. Victoria sent a gift. Marcus returned it unopened. Richard sent nothing, the best gift of all. Aunt Margaret boycotted but sent a card. "I was wrong. Be happy." Christopher gave a heartfelt toast about learning to see people instead of price tags. Harrison cried during his speech about his daughter becoming the woman her mother believed she could be. During the reception, Marcus pulled Sophia onto the small dance floor between bookshelves. "Any regrets?" he asked. Sophia looked around at the mix of guests, architects, dancing with business partners, her father discussing construction with bookshop employees, different worlds colliding peacefully. "Not one. You? Only that I didn't find you sooner. We found each other when we were ready, when we'd figured out who we were underneath everything else." Marcus kissed her, and Sophia felt the last piece of tension she'd carried for years finally release. She wasn't hiding anymore. Neither was he. They were exactly who they were meant to be together. As the evening wore on, Harrison Caldwell stood at the edge of the celebration, watching his daughter laugh in her husband's arms. His sister Margaret had been wrong. Christopher had been wrong. He had been wrong. Sometimes the best partnerships weren't built on spreadsheets or social standing. Sometimes they were built on two people brave enough to be honest about who they really were. He raised his glass in a silent toast to his late wife, who would have loved seeing their daughter this happy. The bookshop filled with music and laughter, with the promise of a future built not on what they had, but on what they dreamed. And in that moment, surrounded by stories written by others, Marcus and Sophia began writing their own. The end.